let's talk about serotonin, the gut most important migraine messenger. Oh yes. You may know serotonin as the feel-good neurotransmitter, the one associated with mood, well-being, and sleep. And you may know that low serotonin is linked to depression. But here is what most people don't know about serotonin. Approximately 90 to 95% of the body's serotonin is produced not in the brain but in the gut, specifically in the enterochromaffin cells that line the walls of your intestines. These cells respond to what is happening in the gut, what you have eaten, how fast things are moving through, what bacteria are present, and they release serotonin accordingly. The serotonin then travels through the bloodstream and communicates with the nervous system, including the brain. Now, why does this matter for migraines? Serotonin plays a central role in migraine biology. During a migraine attack, blood levels of serotonin drop significantly. This drop in serotonin causes blood vessels in the brain to dilate, which contributes to the characteristic throbbing pain. One of the most effective classes of migraine medication, the triptans, work by mimicking serotonin and binding to serotonin receptor, which causes those vessels to constrict and relieves the headache. Serotonin is a key player, and if 90 to 95% of your serotonin is made in your gut, then the health of your gut directly affects your serotonin level. And your serotonin level directly affects your migraine vulnerability. Your gut microbiome influences serotonin production in fascinating way. Certain bacteria, particularly spore-forming bacteria in the colon, stimulate the enterochromaffin cell to produce more serotonin. Research in mice has shown that germs from mice raised without any gut microbiome have dramatically lower level of serotonin in bloodstream. When researchers reintroduce specific bacteria to those mice, serotonin level normalize. This suggests that maintaining a healthy, diverse microbiome is not just about digestion. It is about maintaining the neurotransmitter environment that helps your brain regulate pain. Beyond production, the microbiome also affects the availability of tryptophan, the amino acid precursor to serotonin. Your gut bacteria compete for tryptophan and metabolize it into various end products. When the microbiome is balanced enough tryptophan is available for serotonin synthesis. When it is in balance, more tryptophan may be shunted into other pathways, reducing serotonin availability. The practical takeaway here is powerful. Nurturing your healthy gut microbiome through diet, lifestyle, and targeted supplementation is not just about feeling better after meals. It may be one of the most direct way you can support your brain's serotonin system, and in doing so, reduce your migraine vulnerability. Leaky gut and neuroinflammation. I want to introduce you to a concept that has generated enormous interest in migraine research in recent years: intestinal permeability. You may have heard the popular term leaky gut. While that phrase has sometimes been dismissed as a French wellness idea, the underlying science is real, well documented, and increasingly recognized as relevant to a wide range of conditions, including migraines. Let me explain what intestinal permeability actually means. Your intestinal lining, the wall of your gut, is not simply a passive tube. It is a highly sophisticated, selectively permeable barrier. The cells of the intestinal wall are connected more protein called tight junctions. These tight junctions are like the mortar between bricks. They seal the gaps between cells, controlling what passes from the inside of your gut into your bloodstream. When tight junctions function properly, nutrient and water passes through in a regular way, while bacteria, undigested food particles, and toxins are kept out. This barrier is your body's most important interface with the outside world. More surface area than your skin, processing more foreign material than anywhere else in your body. But tight junction can be disrupted by certain dietary components, by chronic stress, by alcohol, by non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, the NSAID, like ibuprofen, which so many migraine sufferers use regularly, by infection, by dysbiosis. When tight junction break down, the gut becomes more permeable, what researchers call increased intestinal permeability. Substances that should stay inside the gut begin to pass through the wall and enter the bloodstream. When this happens, the immune system responds. It receives these foreign molecule, fragment of bacteria, lipopolysaccharides, undigested food protein as threat. It mounts an inflammatory response. This inflammation is not just local, it is systemic. It circulates through the bloodstream. It crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it activates inflammatory pathway in the brain, including the trigeminal pathway that is central to migraine pain. Several studies have measured markers of intestinal permeability in migraine patients and found them to be significantly elevated compared to controls. One study, published in the Journal of Headache and Pain, found that migraine patients, particularly those with aura, had significantly higher level of zonulin, a protein that is a recognized marker of intestinal permeability. The more frequently they had migraines, the higher their zonulin levels. Another study found that treating migraine patients with a low inflammatory diet, one that specifically supported gut-brain integrity, significantly reduced both the frequency and severity of their attacks. There is also a fascinating link between intestinal permeability and CGRP, calcitonin gene-related peptide, the molecule at the center of the newest class of migraine medication. CGRP is released during migraine attacks and drives the pain and inflammation. Research suggests that gut permeability and the systemic inflammation it causes can trigger CGRP release. So, a leaky gut may be contributing to the very molecular cascade that the most cutting-edge migraine drugs are designed to block. What damages gut barrier integrity? Let's be specific. Gluten, particularly in people with sensitivity, alcohol, even moderate consumption, increases permeability. Chronic NSAID use the very painkiller many migraine sufferers reach for the most, antibiotic, which disrupt the protective microbiome. Chronic psychological stress, which activates stress hormone that loosen tight junction. Poor sleep, processed food, high in emulsifiers and artificial additive. And what support gut barrier integrity? We will get to that in detail in our practical session. But the short answer is a diet rich in fiber, a polyphenol, fermented food, specific amino acid like glutamine, adequate sleep, stress management, and a healthy, diverse microbiome. The gut lining is not fixed. It can't be repaired. And repairing it, reducing the flow of inflammatory signal from the gut into the bloodstream of the brain may be one of the most meaningful things a migraine sufferer can do.